Printing problems. The Windows 9X online help includes the printer troubleshooter. If the print troubleshooter does not help solve the problem, you can use the enhanced print troubleshooter, EPTS. Again, not very useful. You can copy it from the EPTS directory on the distribution CD to the hard drive. So you can copy it from the CD to the hard drive. EPTS.exe runs a more detailed version of a standard online help troubleshooter. If the printer does not print, okay, so here's your checklist. If the printer does not print, again, test question here, right? Make sure the power is on and the printer is online. Check the cable and connections. Verify that the printer has paper. Clear any paper jams. Clear the print buffer. You could generally clear the print buffer on the newer systems by just turning them off and turning them back on. Those are volatile memory. Make sure, and actually some of the newer commercial printers will store them, so you need to go in and physically delete them off the buffer or the print queue. Make sure that the driver and the printer are in the same mode. So PLC 6, for example, PLC 5, something like that. Send a print job directly to the printer so you can just test it to say, hey, did it get it? Print from another application. So is it the application causing the problem? They're trying to narrow down the problem here. Isolate. Delete and reinstall the printer. So you delete the driver and then reinstall it. Print to a file and copy the file to the printer port. There you go. So you could print to a file and then copy that file to the printer port with the CP command. If the printer takes too long to print, ensure that the spooling is enabled and that Windows is spooling. Make sure the drive has enough disk space. Defrag the hard disk. Check for insufficient system resources. Upgrade the printer driver if possible. Make sure that Windows is sending TrueType fonts as outlines, not bitmaps. Okay, these are all relevant, but check for sufficient system resources. What does that mean? Enough RAM, enough hard drive, enough CPU, that kind of thing for what the printer is rated for. The printer may be designed for a bigger, beefier system. Upgrade the driver if possible. You might have upgraded Windows, but you didn't upgrade your printer driver. This was a common problem. Defrag the hard disk. That just means the whole system is running slow anyway. Make sure that, again, we don't do that on newer systems. It's very rare that you would have to. Specific things will cause it, but it's very rare for people to run into that. Make sure the hard drive has enough space. We talked about that, and about the spooling as well. On older systems, this was an issue. On newer ones, it is not. If printouts contain random characters, make sure that the printer language and type are correctly identified. Verify that there is enough printer memory. Print directly to the printer instead of to a spool printer or a spooler. And use ready to print or raw spooling instead of enhanced metafile spooling. And then print one job at a time. Don't print more than one. Make sure the printer can support the printable region. Make sure you're not trying to write outside of the boundaries of that particular printer's physical capabilities. And some extra troubleshooting tips. If the print command on the file menu is dimmed, verify that a printer driver is installed. So if you pull up the file and you're trying to click print and it's grayed out, you may not have a driver installed. If you cannot print from an MS-DOS program, go to the printer properties sheet and deactivate the spool MS-DOS print jobs option. So if you cannot print from an MS-DOS program, go to the printer properties sheet and deactivate the spool MS-DOS print jobs option. Getting organized and keeping records. Providing efficient and effective service is as important as resolving hardware or software problems. So providing efficient and effective service is as important as resolving hardware or software problems. You need to, when they call, they're in trouble, they're stressed out, you need to help them alleviate that stress. The key to efficiency, effectiveness, and good success in an organization, is organization and good record keeping, right? So the key to efficiency, effectiveness, and success is organization and good record keeping. Updating your records each time you perform a service saves you time in the long run. This is true. You want to keep a record of what you're doing and who you're working on and what the problems were. And that way, if another technician comes on because you fix part of a problem and not the whole thing, they have a trail of breadcrumbs to use, right? So you should create a database of essential information for each computer you work on.